and welcome to Dice Jesters. My name is Julie.
And my name is Dave.
And we are a merry and whimsical board gaming podcast where we dive deep into games with curious minds and a jester's grin. We feature 10 by 10 challenges where each season we commit to playing 10 games at least 10 times and sometimes more. Today, we'll be discussing our recent plays of the games Notre Dame and Cellulose. But first, I wanted to discuss maybe the time that everybody's been waiting for. I don't know. I know that I was ecstatic about it. But Dave and I went to the pet store to get Lupin's cat food just because he's been on our case lately because I've been giving him smaller portions. But anywho, he ran out, and so naturally we went to the pet store to get more food, and there was I don't even know what the people, like, I know that sometimes they have different names. It's not like a pet keeper. I don't know. There was
the keeper of the pet.
The keeper of the keys
store.
of the pets. But there was a worker by the guinea pig section, and I had gone up to him because I was feeling extroverted that day, and I said, hi. And I literally said this. I am not kidding. I literally said, hi. He has been wanting a guinea pig for a long time. Can you please let him hold it or touch it just so his dreams can come true? And the worker said, yeah, he can't hold it, but he can touch it. So then the worker and him both touched a guinea pig for the first time in both their lives. So tell me, Dave, how was that experience for you?
Well, let me just say that my heart stopped a little bit when you asked him to open the guinea pig cage, because I thought for a second, is this the moment where we bring home a guinea pig?
No.
I thought you were going to surprise me and just let us bring home a guinea pig,
No.
but it was just to...
You got to bring two home.
So it was like a petting zoo experience within the pet store. So you opened the cage and I got to put my hand in, and he was kind of hopping around a little bit.
Yeah, it was the one that wanted you specifically.
Yeah.
The one that you wanted too.
So then I reached my hand in, and it was very soft, and then it started nibbling on my hand, and I was like, is this an act of aggression? Is this an act of affection? I don't really know.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about guinea pigs.
But I really wanted to bring the guinea pig home, so if you're listening to this and want to support the guinea pig cause, feel free to email the dicejesters@gmail.com.
I like that you say email and not go through Instagram. You're like, if you want to avoid Julie, please email directly. And I'm like, I have the email too.
And then we walked by the cats, and
yes.
we were a little close to bringing home a second cat, I think.
Well, I don't know.
We're on the fence.
We're on the fence because Lupin he wants to always be around us. And I think it's just because he loves us. And when we go out, for those of you who may not know who Lupin is, Lupin's my cat, and he's quite unique. And we take him for walks. We take him literally on adventures. Yeah, he goes on drives. He goes on hikes with us. He's a ragamuffin. If you're unaware of what a ragamuffin is, they are a bigger breed, similar to a rag doll and a Maine Coon in a way. So bigger breed. So if you ever see pictures of him, especially on our Instagram, if you go to Dice Jesters, he is a big boy. And anytime we're out, we tend to encounter wildlife. So he loves deer. He loves little birds, squirrels. He likes grasshoppers.
The grasshopper came into our apartment.
Yeah, he didn't kill it. He tried being friends with it. I was like, oh, okay.
What kind of hunter cat are you?
I know. I was all like, you're not a hunter. You're not built like that, Lulu.
I've never seen him attack a spider or anything.
He's never attacked anything.
It be.
The only thing he attacks is me when he tackled me and threw me against the wall that one night.
Or me when he wants to wake me up to feed him in the morning.
Yeah.
He comes and sits on my head.
I know, I love that. And I love how he stares into your soul. He's like, you know what you're supposed to be doing.
The second I stir, if I accidentally wake up at 5 a.m. or something, he'll be right over staring me in the face. Like,
he's like, it's
hey,
time.
you awake? Time to get up. Time to get up. Come feed me.
I love him. But, oh yeah, and then this morning he was trying to turn the light switch on because he was irritated with how slow you would...
Forcibly getting us out of bed.
Right. But he also likes cats. Like, there was a cat that cats come up to me. Like, there's several cats that we have in the neighborhood that when Lupin's not around, I do tend to pet. But
Or even when we're out and about in public.
Yeah, like randomly.
Cats will just come up.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, there's a cat. And you're like, where? And I'm like, wait for it. It's going to come out. And then out of nowhere, it comes out. I just have this like sixth sense for kitties. But I introduced one of the cats to Lupin, thinking that it was going to be a good introduction, and the outside cat hissed at Lupin, and Lupin didn't know what was going on. He just chilled, and I had to physically move Lupin so that the outside cat wouldn't start a brawl with my mans.
You turned into straight up cat mommy in that scenario.
Yeah, I was like,
you were
you
so
don't
defensive.
hiss at my kitty. I was like, no.
Get away from us.
Yeah, I was like, what's wrong with you? And you're like, so yes, when we were at the pet store and I saw a cat, all of those things ran through my mind in the like 5 seconds I stood staring. And
yeah.
I was just like, oh. And then Lupin, I know, Dave gets on me about this all the time, but Lupin has 2 litter boxes to himself. He would have to share one of those litter boxes, and I don't think he wants to share one of those litter boxes. I understand people are going to be like, oh, well, I think it's okay. You have 2 cats, 2 litter boxes. Well, Lupin, I don't know.
I've never known a cat with 2 litter boxes. I've had cats my whole life. Let me just say that.
Well, my cat is Princess Lulu.
The kittens that we saw were very adorable, and there was one in particular that
I liked.
Kept coming up to the little holes in the protective cover there, and I was about ready to cave. Let's bring it home. I said, you have my blessing if you want to bring home a kitten. But then we started thinking of the long-term ramifications. What if Lupin doesn't like having another cat around and reverts? Behavior-wise, we're dealing with all these new challenges with having a second cat. You can't just bring 2 cats together. There's a whole system.
I think Lupin would be fine with it, though, because he does slow blink at the cats when we do bring him to the pet store. Yes, we also bring Lupin to the pet store. And he does check out the cats. So maybe, I don't know. I love his temperament the way it is. He is such a unique cat that I'm worried if we did bring a cat, he would lose who he is, and then I wouldn't have my Lulumans. Like, maybe the other cat doesn't want to go outside, and then Lupin's like, but I want to go outside, you know, in my protective kitty vest that I have outgrown. So yeah,
maybe not a cat, but for sure the guinea pig. That'd be so adorable.
About it. You're like, all right, season 5.
Can you imagine, though, if we got a guinea pig and we gave it some kind of jestery name and then dressed it up with board game related stuff? That'd be pretty cool.
I have so much going on. I don't think I have capability of sewing up little jestery things for a guinea pig. Okay. But thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we have resummoned the game Notre Dame, which was originally in our Season 2 10x10 challenge. And how did that resummoning go for you, Dave?
So Notre Dame, if you've never played the game before, is a game that was published around 2007 by Stefan Feld, and it's one of his older games. And it kind of has this classic Euro feel and look to it. It kind of has that beige palette when you look at the board. And at its core, Notre Dame is a card drafting game where you take turns drafting cards and then using those to perform actions, which require you to take cubes from your supply and put them into your neighborhood in different sectors that let you perform increasingly more and more powerful actions. So there's, like, for example, there's a place where you can put cubes to get more cubes. So the first time you place it, you place 1 cube and then you get 1 cube from your supply. And then the next time, there are 2 cubes there now, so now you get 2 cubes from your supply. So you kind of invest in these different areas of your neighborhood. And then there's also this little carriage that you're going to move around and pick up these little bonus tokens that let you give you money, they give you points. There's a central cathedral for Notre Dame that you're trying essentially to contribute to. And when you place cubes there, you can pay money to get points. And then at the end of the round, whoever has the most cubes, well, points get divvied up by the cubes that are in there. And then at the end of each round, there are 3 of these people cards that are out that you can pay a coin to use one of their benefits. And then at the bottom of the cards, there are these rat symbols. And then that determines how many spaces you have to move up your rat track, which is the plague, which you're trying to fight off. And it's kind of this distraction too, because you don't want to get to the end of your track because then bad things happen. You lose points. You have to remove a cube from the area of your neighborhood that has the most cubes. But it's not really necessarily that bad if you can find a way to keep doing things better than the stuff you're losing from that punishment, if that makes sense. And I don't know, Notre Dame, It's a fine game, and I enjoy it, but I don't know that it's necessarily, after playing it a few more times, I think we've played it more than 20 times at this point. I looked on our play stats, and I don't know that this is one that I'm going to want to keep coming back to all the time. How did you feel about it?
So it's quite interesting because I know that this one was a keep it to play, right? That's obviously why we did like a resummoning of it, because it's a keep it to play. We're coming on our year, right? Or has it been
Correct.
a year?
Yeah, it's been over a year now since we played it for the first time.
Okay. And you beat me, right? The initial 10 plays?
Yeah, I did.
And then this time around, it flipped. I do find it interesting that when we come back to games, where especially games that you won, and I know you're like, oh, well, let's play Race for the Galaxy, right? That's the one that you're like, let's just throw that on the table. Yeah. But
you become the master of tableau builders.
It is because I learned a lot about myself. Overcome. Do.
With tableau building or games in general?
Is Dominion Tableau, technically?
No, that's more of deck building.
What's deck building?
Tableau building
San
would be San Juan,
okay.
Wormspan, Wingspan, Race for the Galaxy.
Well, then I feel like I'm good at tableau building games.
Bloody Inn.
Wasn't I good at Bloody Inn?
Yes. You've been good at every game I've mentioned.
Minus Race for the Galaxy. Yeah, no, I think I figured stuff out. As you know, I tend to become over-fixated on something until I can break it. And with playing a bunch of different games, coming back to this game, I felt different about it because I felt that it was easier to play, in all honesty. My scores weren't as high as my highest score in our first 10 rounds, but doing it here, this time as the resummoning, I was just like, no, this is pretty straightforward, pretty clean cut. Like, you do this or you don't do this, and you move. And so I did that, and I looked at it to maximize my points. And I remember when I initially played it, I stayed away from the carriage because I felt like the carriage wasn't beneficial to me. But this time,
you went all in on the carriage this time.
I utilized the carriage, and then I utilized different bonuses that would make me get more points. So, there was that one card that, based off whatever the end of the round was for points, I would get double that. In the first round that we played, in the first game, because I think we played 3 games, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the first round, in the first game, I started with 10 points due to using the carriage. And then I paid a coin to use the double the point one. So then I ended the first round of the first game with 20 points. So I was pretty ahead right away.
I think you beat your high score in this resummoning of the game.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I feel like returning to it made it easier. But returning to it, if I had to look at it from a point of view, if I would like to continue always playing this game, if it was something where we had a debate about, like, oh, what are we going to play tonight? And then we debated that. I don't think that would be one that we would debate about. I think if you threw out Bruges next to it, I would say Bruges. If you threw out, what's the one we played decently recent? Feast for Odin, A Feast for Odin. If you put that next to it, I would say A Feast for Odin. Like, there's games that I would take over it. And for that, I would say, yeah, I'm good on the plays we did. If somebody had it and offered it to play on the table, I most definitely would. But would it need to stay on our shelf if we're looking for our specific shelf? I would say no, not particularly.
I think it's a good game if you're playing with somebody who maybe hasn't played a lot of like the medium weight Euro games. It's a really good one to start because it gives you enough options to think about different directions you can go in the game, because you can really focus on getting rid of those rats when the play comes around. You can get good at just getting points through that one sector on the board. And then there's another place where you, if you've placed at least 2 cubes, then on future turns, when you get at least 1 point from anything, you get an additional point. So there's strategy there. Again, you can move the carriage around. You can contribute to Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. And so I know that sounds like a lot of things, but it's pretty easy when you look at it to figure out, what do I need to do to actually get points? It's like really clear on the board what you need to do in order to do that. So It's not muddled down by a lot of obscure mechanics or anything like that. You could, I think, teach this to somebody who hasn't played a lot of games and get them into it. And I think this would be a good introduction into that. So for you and I, though, I think if we're looking at games on our shelf, like you were saying, this wouldn't necessarily be one that we would go to first, because it's kind of played its purpose in our collection. We've had a good time. We've played it 20 plus times, and I think that we're maybe ready to close the chapter in Notre Dame.
Yeah, but one thing that I really wanted to point out that I appreciate about Notre Dame is that from a designer point of view, not that we're designers, but I enjoy the aspect that was added into the game where there's multiple distractions. So that was the first game that we had played together, at least my first game, where there was that intent to distract you. You could get distracted by the rats, but what was the consequence? You know, you could get distracted by going into Notre Dame because it's that 6 points, but you can easily get that 6 points taken away from you if someone else goes into Notre Dame.
Right.
So I really appreciate how there was built-in distractions that would make you feel like you were losing out on something and or able to gain something. So it was the quick rewards and the quick losses.
It's true.
That created a really unique, I guess, distraction. And I like that a lot. Because then afterwards, any game we played after that, it was just like, oh, there's your rats. Those are your little distractions, your quick plays.
And I think that's so fascinating when a game designer can put that into the design where you think that the point of the game is to do something, but then there's things that distract you from other things that are actually better. And once you figure that out, you can play the game a little bit differently, because I think this is the first game, like you were saying, that we discovered that. And once we discovered, oh, it's okay to let your rats run rampant in your city, because if you have a way to get more points than what you're losing, like I think it makes you lose 2 points. So if you find a way to get, say, 6 points in a round and then you're losing 2, it's better than just focus on not losing 2 if you're still coming out ahead. So it's about trying to overcome that necessarily than trying to get rid of those every single round.
Yeah, I like the whole aspect of having to do a pro and con with it, just because, you know, I really like to balance those. So I like it. But yes, if we're just talking about our shelf specifically, I would say it breaks my heart.
Is this a fond farewell with trumpets and tumbles?
It is. It is. But this would be a good... I know it's going to sound weird because some people might be like, wait, no, what you're saying doesn't make sense, but just listen all the way, okay? I think this may be a good family game for individuals who want to get their family into playing those more medium games.
I think so.
Like this one in Arnak, like Lost Ruins of Arnak, those two games are easier to comprehend, easier to explain. And so they give you that feel of a medium game or heavier game where it would still be fun. So, yeah.
I think both of those give you a good sense of progression too, which is important, I think, when you're introducing somebody to new games, to give them rewards where they feel like, oh, I've invested in doing this one thing and now I'm getting better at it. And Arnak does that with moving up that track and then being able to take more and more powerful actions. And Notre Dame, when you can see the cubes in a certain area and know that you've gotten good at that, and now when you take an action to do that again, it'll be a massive turn for you. So I think that that's really good.
Yeah. So, yeah, fond. Very fond. Farewell. I'll send it with some change or something.
It's been a good time. Thank you, Notre Dame, for the good times.
Yes, thank you, Notre Dame. That leads us into our newcomer to the court, which is Cellulose. You know what? Why don't you take it away, Dave?
You want me to explain cellulose?
Yeah, you can say the word, you can explain it, you can do it all, and then I'll just talk about my experience.
Okay, so let me just say that I don't have the game in front of me, and there are a lot of scientific terms in this game, and
yeah,
I don't have a very strong scientific background. So I'll just start by saying that this is a game about plant biology. Where you are, I don't know what our role is in the game. We're plants, or we take part in the DNA structure of a plant. And it's a worker placement game. I would say maybe medium light worker placement game. You're trying to get the most points by placing these little beaker worker tokens that you're going to place out to perform different actions. At its core, it's kind of like a resource management type game where you're getting, you have to collect water, you have to collect CO2, and other things. Protein, yeah, exactly.
The main blocks were water, CO2, and then protein. Protein's red, CO2's clear, and then water was blue.
Exactly. So you're trying to do that, collect different things. There's cards that you can play that give you ongoing bonuses, and you can, there's a photosynthesis action where you get carbohydrates by trading in CO2 and water for the carbohydrates, and then you can use those carbohydrates to contribute to building the cell wall, which gives you points. And then there's a central water area. What's that called? I don't remember. But you place water cubes there. It's kind of an area majority type thing where at the end of the round, if you have the most water tokens, then you get to move up this track that gives you points. And then you get an extra worker for the next round, which is way fun. And that's really the game in a nutshell. Just some worker placement, gathering stuff, trying to do all the things. And then there's this root and shoot.
Yeah, root and shoot.
Root and shoot board.
You can become a root and you can shoot up to be a plant.
Which is cool. That's where you get your beginning of round income. So you can decide, you have 2 markers and you can move up the plant shoot side or you can move down the root side and either you're going to get like water or CO2 at the beginning of each round, which you need for things. So you want to try to move up and down those tracks. Speaking of sense of progression, I would say this game has a really strong sense of progression where you're just getting a few things here and there. But then by the end, you have all of this income and then you're trading that in for carbohydrates and then you're building the cell wall and all these things are happening and scoring lots of points to this end that feels, honestly, this game was kind of intense. I think you and I were able to get really competitive with this, with that central water area and trying to get the majority there, but then blocking each other out of spaces that we knew that the other person needed.
Yes.
Which I had a lot of fun with this.
I did too.
A few things about it I really loved. The first thing is that it felt very scientific. The mechanisms and everything all seemed to make sense within the plant biology aspect of what we're actually trying to do.
Yes.
And honestly, for that reason, I think that this could be a game that you can play with older kids who maybe could use it as an education type of tool to learn about plant biology and so forth. Or even just adults like you and I. We're having fun sitting down and playing this, and I'm remembering biology from high school and stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun just with the scientific part, just different theme than we're used to. So that was cool. But then I also really liked the building the cell wall. I like any game where we're both kind of contributing to the same thing together, but it gives us our own benefits. And then there's also some really cool mechanisms within the game with the root and shoot board I really thought was awesome. And then the water track was also cool because whenever you take the action to get water, you have to move this water token down. So each time somebody takes the action, it gets less and less good. But then you can use up to 3 tokens from that water action to put into the central water area where you're getting the area majority. So it's like, do I want to keep these water tokens for the things I need to do? Or do I want to contribute to that central area where I may not even win? And there were a few rounds of a game where I really thought I was going to win and get to move up that track to get points in the extra worker. But then you did something a little sly and you were able to get an extra water token out there. So it was all that for nothing. And you get water tokens out there when you contribute to the cell wall too. So there's different ways you can do it. And then some of the chaining together of cool bonuses from the cards as well as the end game scoring. So it just had enough of little things that I already loved about games that we've played and kind of brought it together in a really colorful, educational feeling package that I enjoyed this a lot. How about you?
Oh, I loved this. Okay, so I just wanted to say, first off, for this game, you don't have to be like a biologist major, like you had said.
I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
No, I mean like in general. So anybody really could play this because you don't need to know what anything of a plant cell does to play the game.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So yeah, if you wanted to have fun that way. And then it gave me so much nostalgia looking at like the nucleus in the ribosomes. And because when I was in biology in high school, my sophomore year, I had to literally draw the whole plant cell and there was a whole quiz on it. And I remember color coding it and drawing it. And there was something that I had gotten wrong, right? But because I literally drew the photo on the quiz, my teacher gave me extra credit because she was just all like, you really went above and beyond drawing the whole...
That sounds like something you would do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. When I was in physics... Sorry, this is side tangent.
I love that no matter what the theme of the game is, you always have so many awesome personal stories.
I have a very colorful life. But so I was in physics class, right? And I did not know because I was in advanced physics. I didn't take the pre-physics. I don't know how I got into advanced physics, but the school let me into it, whatever. So I was in advanced physics. I was taking a quiz and it was the midterm exam. I forgot everything that I needed to know for it. But I saw that my professor or teacher, it's high school, so teacher, had a bunch of Snoopy, like from the Peanuts, on his wall. I am not joking you. I literally drew Snoopy in the doghouse, and I had a little quote bubble, and I was just like, I'm so sorry. I don't remember anything from first quarter, because it was like midterms, but I saw you liked Snoopy, so could you please at least give me extra credit? I'm not kidding you. I got a passing grade because of that Snoopy thing.
Because of your artistic capabilities.
He literally at the bottom put +2.
For the laughs.
Oh my gosh, no, it gets funnier because the kid next to me, we were always like in a competition with each other. He was all like, you literally got 2 more points than me because you drew something. And I was all like, you just gotta think outside the box. So yeah, anyways,
that was awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that worked out for you.
I know, I love that. So I love biology. When I was in nursing school, I was in what was it? I forgot what biology it was, but it was so funny. My teacher, I know this has nothing to do with the game. This is kind of what it's about though. Like we play board games and then it comes up with like stories and stuff that we wouldn't bring up into normal conversation. And it's just kind of how you and I learn about each other a little bit more.
Through these random themes.
Yeah, through these random
I learn a little bit about you. Seriously, every game that we play together. I'm not exaggerating.
But my biology professor, because this was college now, she was just like, oh, were you the kid in the Eggo waffles that you had to get the syrup perfect? Because I was so quick at filling my vials. Yeah, because I went because we were doing DNA testing, and you have to you get this kind of like pen like thing, and you press the top and you hold it and then you release so that it stops, but you have to fill it a certain amount. If you overfill it, it might run into the other side. If you underfill it, there may not be enough to test.
That sounds like something I'd be terrible at.
But I was really quick at it, and she was just like, oh, you were the syrup kid, weren't you? And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, when you have the Eggo waffle and you squeeze the syrup so it only fills each square.
Oh, I thought you did that, or you got the syrup to fall just on the lines perfectly.
Oh, no, I filled the squares.
Filled the squares.
I filled the squares.
I miss Eggo waffles.
We can still have Eggo waffles. They exist. It's not like they stopped existing.
I feel like maybe I'm past the point in my life when it would be socially acceptable
to purchase
Eggo waffles at the...
You can have Eggo waffles anytime, Dave. Anytime. Eggo waffles used to be a joke in my first job after I graduated college. My manager and I just had we called each other waffles because I'm dyslexic. So I had spelled something wrong and I meant to say something else, but it ended up being waffle. And she was just like, I'm a waffle? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then she showed me my message to her and I was like, I guess you are a waffle.
That's really funny. I like the chocolate chip ones the best. Those were really good.
Oh, I like the normal ones because I would put powdered sugar on it. What? But yeah, so I really enjoy this game, and I really love when games spark up conversation like this. It makes it more fun for me and for you. And in general, I think that that's kind of what games should do. They should be fun. They should incorporate collaboration. Is that the word?
Bonding?
Bonding. Yeah, I feel like you should play a game with somebody, and you may not talk about boring things, but you may talk about like fun memories, just like me being the Eggo waffle kid, I guess, in college. But
or the bird lady.
Or the bird lady. I'm not the bird lady. But I love that. When games have that, I kind of cancel out items of the game that I might not be as fond of because the memories or the conversation that were brought up or fostered due to the game just kind of made it fun, So I like that.
Well, at this point, do you think it's the theme or do you think it's the mechanisms that draw you into a game more?
Ooh, that's 50-50 because there's been some where the theme has been okay, but the mechanisms were really fun. So
and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just really like this one because it was fun for me. It was fun. It was nostalgic. It was colorful. That's a big thing. And I do like worker placement. I know that not everybody likes worker placement because some people may feel that it's overdone, but I like worker placement. I think it's fun. I like to figure out ways to place something and then be able to take it back and place it again. And you saw that. So
Exactly. And I would say just looking at the game, it looks very non-intimidating. The color choice, very well laid out. I don't think that this is going to be a game that will intimidate somebody if you bring it out and put it on the table. And another thing I forgot to mention too is on that root and shoot board. I love saying that. On the other side, there's also an alternative track that you can utilize, or an alternative board that I thought was really cool. So we played one game with the normal side and then we flipped it over and thought that back side actually had a little bit more strategy to it because it let you do some different things. And so that was awesome that was included. And then there are also 2 scenario cards that are included in the game that, looking at them, it looks like they both impose different kinds of restrictions. So I think it'd be cool. I enjoyed the plays of this. I would be up for coming back to this one at some point in time and trying out those scenarios.
Yeah, I do want to come back to this because the games that we played, I feel that there is more depth to it, especially with those restriction cards that we could explore to kind of see from a designer perspective where that is and how maybe we could perhaps
I love that.
I don't know.
Getting me all excited. So I'm assuming this is a keep it to play then, right?
Yeah, it's a keep it to play. We haven't tried the restriction cards yet, so yeah.
We'll keep it around.
Yeah, so that is our play of Cellulose. So thank you for playing with me.
Cellulose.
You know what? Lots of my school items were never talking about it, okay? They were all writing.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, Julie, I have some exciting news to share.
Yes, Dave.
So I've come prepared with a new offering to the crown. So we wrapped up Wormspan.
We did.
Our last game within our 10 by 10 challenge for the Jester's Gambit. And I think I've had fun revisiting Notre Dame and playing Cellulose this week. And I'm ready to jump into the next one. So I've come with an offering to the crown.
Oh, yes.
I'm not going to tell you anything about the game. I'm going to just read you the backstory in the rule book. And then maybe I can answer questions if you have it. But then I'll leave it up to you to decide, does this sound like a game that you would enjoy as playing? Potentially as the next game within our 10 by 10 challenge. So, Are you ready?
I am.
Welcome to the forest's most satisfying and most productive cottage industry. Beginning with a few pieces of lumber, you will create furniture, musical instruments, and other household items as practical as they are beautiful. Are there any limits to the wonders of wood? It can be cut to any shape. It can be stacked and glued to any thickness. It is satisfying to the touch, pleasing to the eye, and intriguing to the nose. You can find it readily available for barter or salt. And you can even grow your own. How lucky are we to work with a material so versatile? And how lucky we are to live in a land where our labors are rewarded. As you progress in your craft, you will be able to improve your workshop, acquire new tools, and enlist the help of others. With diligence, patience, and attention to detail, your business will grow and prosper. Your many creations will be enjoyed by your delighted customers, and your reputation will grow as strong as the stoutest tree in the forest. Wow, that was a beautiful intro. Do you feel inspired right now? How do you feel?
I feel like laughing. It kind of sounds like Animal Crossing.
A little bit. I hadn't even read that backstory before I read it to you just now, and I was trying really hard not to crack up as I was reading that.
No, it
was like poetic.
Yeah, we could play it because it sounds like it's going to be like a resource game, and I love resource games. And then you're like trying to impress the villagers like you are in Animal Crossing. And in Animal Crossing, I had this goat resident and his name was Sherb. Oh, he's so cute. About? And then I made a keychain in honor of him with some shrinkadinks.
You used a lot of words that I have no clue what they mean in the last couple of minutes here. So,
well, Sherp is so cute. Well, I love goats. You took me to a goat farm.
Yeah.
I have goats
with the
on
baby
my
goats?
Yeah, because I was telling you about how I miss my goats in the Philippines because I have so many goats there. And you brought me to a goat farm and listening to whatever game, I don't know, what do you call this? The prelogue? What would you call this for a game? The thematic intro?
The introduction. Yeah. The backstory.
So listening to this just reminded me of Animal Crossing, which reminded me of my most beloved villager, which is Sherb, and he's a blue goat.
Sherb. Well, I don't know if there are any ghosts in this. There might be.
Oh, okay.
That'd be kind of fun.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with playing this or giving it a go to see if it'll be Jester Gambit's material, and I hope there's a goat.
Long live the Jester Queen. The court is blessed by your curiosity.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
It's beautiful. Okay, so this is Woodcraft.
Okay.
By Vladimir Suhi, which he designed, a game that we love and a game that we were kind of lukewarm on.
Is it
Underwater
Aquasphere?
Cities. No, that's Stefan Feld. So he designed Underwater Cities. Okay. We love that game.
Yeah.
He also designed Pulsar 2849.
No, he designed Woodcraft.
Woodcraft. So I'm just looking at the game. Has a lot of dice, and it looks like resource management type of thing. I don't know much about the game other than that. Just based on the designer alone, I think that this is going to be one that we enjoy, but I'm willing to take the risk with you.
I like how you say risk. You're like, this is going to be one we're going to enjoy, but let's risk it. Like, what do we wish? Our time?
Our time, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I hope there's a goat in it.
Well, if there's not, hopefully the game is fun enough to justify the lack of goats. So I'm going to set that game up and learn the rules because I've never played it before. And
this will be a game we're doing for the first time together.
Exactly.
Yay.
So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited too. So,
and yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for doing the resummoning and the newcomer to the court and then introducing a potential Jester's Gambit.
And thank you always for playing all the games with me.
Yeah, of course. And thank you so much for listening to us this week. If you would like to keep up with our photo journey, feel free to visit us on Instagram. Our Instagram is Dice Jesters. If you would like to support us in any way, or just kind of see behind the scene content, that will be on our Patreon. Our Patreon's Dice Jesters as well. We're also on YouTube. Our YouTube is Dice Jesters. There you can get the podcast too, as well as some other videos in between. And, as always, be sure to play games with the ones you love.